So you want to make a wrap bracelet. Let's do this. My name is Erin. I make jewelry and I have been doing it for about a year and a half. I make wrap bracelets and other bracelets. I make jewelry, all kinds of necklaces and stuff. So anyways, I thought maybe I'd do a tutorial and then you could see how to do it yourself. And then if you don't want to do it yourself, you can buy one of mine. But anyways, so let's start with what you'll need. Black cord. You'll need about this much to do a 5 wrap, and I think this is 2 meters. So you'll need about 2 meters for a 5 wrap. So if you want to cut 2 meters or just buy the 2 meters, I think it's like $3 online. So anyways, that's a good one. You need some GS Hypo cement. Don't use any kind of super glue or anything like that. It will discolor your leather, it won't work, and it'll look really cheesy, and it won't be worth it. Trust me, the amount of time that you're going to put into this bracelet, you do not want to use cheesy stuff. So anyways, you need that. You'll need a button. I got this little tiara cast button. They do pewter buttons with like, this is 22 karat plated. They do non-tarnish and they look nice for a really long time. They have all kinds of styles. I like the flower because I think it's cute, so I use that. You need some Scotch tape. I tape mine up. Don't use any of the other kind of tapes. I recommend Scotch. It's the best. It's the stickiest. The duct tape from Target, that stuff is just horrible. So I would stick with the Scotch 3M. You can get it in the paint department at Home Depot. You need a little tape measure so you can measure out all your stuff. You need some clippers so you can clip it at the end. You'll need a needle. I like to use these collapsible eye needles with the big eye in it. I think these are the easiest to use for me. I like them a lot. You'll need some thread. I use, this is called Sono. I don't know if you can see that, yeah? Sono. I also use a brand called KO. It's the same maker. It's a Japanese thread. It's nylon and it's very, very strong, and I quadruple it, so we'll go into that later, but I highly recommend this thread. I do not like the C-lon or the S-lon. I think that it doesn't look as nice and it's very hard to work with. I also don't like working with satin because it is hard to work with as well. Not satin, sorry, silk. I don't like working with silk. I don't know, I was thinking satin. You need your beads, so I've chosen some. I'm going to do some African turquoise here. So I've got some African turquoise. They are 4mm in size. I think for a 5 wrap you should stick to the smaller beads. It looks better. Like these are 4mm Swarovski pearls. It just looks better if you're going to wrap it that many times. Plus you can, you know, put other stuff on and you don't look like you're carrying like luggage in your hand when you're walking around. So anyways, these, if you're going to do a bigger beads, I would go for a 3 wrap. So if you're going to do bigger beads, that's the 6mm. I would go for that. For 3 wrap, and for 5 wrap, I would do that, 4mm. So just so you know, 4mm or lower, 5 wrap. So that's what you'll need, and you also need a board to tape your project onto. So here's my beautiful board that I use. I got it from Michael's. It's basically a bracelet board, so like a display board. So I duct tape this down. Your screen time is over, dude. So your first step is going to be to cut 2 meters of leather, about 2 meters for a 5 wrap. That's about 80 inches. Well, I do about 80 inches, but since it came in 2 meters, I'm just going to use it. So I didn't have to cut, but this is how long it is. It's very long. Just got to wrap 5 times and you have to knot it. So after you cut it, you're going to put the button on it. Just slide it right down in the middle. Make sure it's in the middle so these are at the end here, equal. Put the button on there and tie a knot. Okay, so once you've got your button on there, take your leather with the button up here and I just tape it right down, right on the button over the board here. Secure it. And then you're going to want to tape it down at the bottom too. So you take the 2 tails, straighten them out as far as you can see, and tape I would say about 1/4 of an inch apart, and I usually tape it just right on the top, half through the top and the bottom like this, so it's like that. This tape's awesome. It will stick, and then you won't. That's the key, really, to a good bracelet is a good foundation, because if you have this moving all around, you cannot get your beads straight in here, and they'll be going everywhere, and it's a nightmare. So this is the best way to do it, for me anyways. Also, if you want to, you can get yourself a little bead board, multi-strand. I got a big one because I like to see it, and I laid out my design already, as you can see. So I'm gonna do the African turquoise with gold, 22 karat gold plated nuggets all around it. It's gonna look super awesome. So the next step is to get your thread. You're gonna need about 5 feet pieces of thread. I always do a rule of thumb where I pull it at an arm's length. I'm about 5'8", so I pull it about 10 times, then 1 time for good luck. But it comes out to be, and I'm not a big measurer, but it comes out to be about 5 feet. But it seems to work for me, so that's how I do it. So get your thread, do 2 pieces, because you're going to quadruple it to strengthen it. You're not just going to do 1, you're going to do 2. I find that when people do 1 thread through it, they don't last as long, and then the beads move all around, and it just looks homemade. So if you want it to look nice, just quadruple your thread. Super easy. You're putting the time in anyways. You might as well just do it. So anyways, let's cut our thread. Okay, so now we're going to thread it. So you want to take both pieces that you've cut. You see it? You've got 2 pieces now that are 5 feet, okay? So you're going to take the 2 pieces and you're going to thread it inside your needle. And you're going to pull it so the needle's in the middle of the pieces of thread. So since I pulled it 11 times, I pull it 6 times, and that's about right. That's about the middle. And then a little trick with this thread. This thread is going to get everywhere. It's going to be really, really frustrating at first. And it's going to get stuck on everything. So here is a rule of thumb. Anything you have around you that could get caught on thread will get caught. So I usually take my entire space and just clean it off. The entire space, like my whole my whole dining room table. I will clear it off, and that way I don't have to fool around with my thread getting stuck every time I make a pass through, because it gets very irritating and it makes you want to kill someone. So anyways, just a little heads up there. And also, this thread is very easy to work with. It also gets knotted up really easily too sometimes, but it's very easy to get the knot out. So don't get frustrated if you get a knot. Just what I usually do is I step away from it, because I find that if I step away and come back in like 15 minutes, the knot's super easy to get out. Okay, so this is what you should have: a big, huge blob of thread, your needle stuck here, and your stuff taped on. So we are now going to tie the thread onto the bracelet. That's how I do it. I don't know how other people do it. That's just the way I do it. If you want to do it a different way, you can. I'm not really sure how else to do it. I think some people do macrame knots and all that kind of stuff, but I find that these hold up just fine. I've been making these for like 1.5 years now. I've been wearing them for that long, and I've never had one break on me. So if you want to follow this way, you should, because it works. So anyways, so what you're going to do is you're going to take the first... go under the first piece of leather, your left hand leather, go over the right hand, and then go under, and then you're going to take it all the way up to the knot. Just use your fingernail to push it up there, and then you're just going to tie a simple knot, and that's what I do. So that's my first knot, okay? Then you're going to take the tail, the 4 tails right here, and you're going to go back under the right hand, over the left, under the left, over the right, and meanwhile you're tightening up the top here, okay? You don't want it to look sloppy, so you want to tighten it up. Then you're going to tie 1 more knot, like so, and then each time you're making sure that the knot is neat. And then what I do is I'll take, separate these 2, and then I'll just tie another knot. So I'll separate these into 2 and 2, and I'll tie this into a knot. And then you're going to get your GS Hypo Cement, and you're going to glue that down. This Hypo Cement comes out really quickly, and then it's hard to put back in. So what you want to do is, after you've glued that, I like to glue the knot, and I also like to glue the thread. So I do here and there. And
Hi. There's a cat in the background in the water. That's weird. He's swimming. He really likes it here. You can see him just vaguely. Oh, he's getting out of the way. Woo!
so you've got your thread on your leather, and now we're ready to start beading. You want to make sure that your thread is straight. So what I do is I'll stand up and I'll walk across the room. Okay, so this is super exciting. We're going to do the first pass. So you want to take all the thread you've got here. It's to the left of you right now. You're going to take your needle and you're going to go under the left cord like this, see? And then you're going to pull it all the way through. And you can't see me doing that, but I'm going to show you because there's a certain way that I like to pull my thread so it doesn't get all mixed up. Then you're going to take your bead and put it on your needle, and I work it down the thread. And then you're going to go and you're going to pull it all the way down like this. It's going to get right there. Okay? Then you're going to take it and kind of work it up into the middle there, and then pull it up to the right a bit. And then you want to make sure that this right here, it's hard to see with these little guys like these here. I usually wait to the end to clip those, but you want to make sure this right here, this thread, is laying flat and not all poofed out or anything, because then it just looks bad. So you want to kind of pull it up a bit, yeah? And then you're going to take your needle and you're going to go under the right piece of leather, okay? You're going to go under the right piece of leather, and then you're going to pass through the bead once again. So you pass through it, pull it, and then I kind of like to hold my, if you want to see, I like to hold my thread up here, and I like to hold this part this way so I don't get any knots. That's just over the times that I've done this, it's just helpful. I have been doing this for a while. I've made like hundreds of bracelets, and I can tell you that I have worked with lots of knots, and that's a good way to do it. So anyways, there's your first one. Let's do one more. So you take your needle, go under the left piece of leather, put your bead on, like so. Then you're going to pull it through. So again, I like to take it, and then when I'll show you. When I do mine, I shake the thread because it tends to get the knots out, and then I don't have to deal with it. Then I let it drop. Then we will go back down here. I hope this isn't annoying you. Sorry, I'm trying to help because it can be really frustrating. Then you're going to go under the right with your needle again. And you're going to make sure that this part here is nice and taut. I like that word, taut. And then you're going to just pass through again. So pulling the thread, making sure it doesn't knot up. And then if you see a knot forming, just pull it nice and easy. Some people use beeswax. You know, I never have. I never could figure it out. I don't think it's that hard, but it would probably make my life a little bit easier. I might do that. But we'll see. I gotta remember to buy some. So anyway, so if you see the first two that we've done, and there's a shadow on it. There we go. If you see the first two that we've done, gosh, that's hard to freaking do. There you go. Those are the first two that we've done, you see? So as you can see, the thread is nice and taut right here and here. And you don't want to give it like a death grip where it looks like the beads are sunken in like this. Just pull it tight enough so it's on there good. So then you're going to keep going and going and going and going.